Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback Nick Foles.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance, because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Here's Foles. Throw left side to his tight end, Swain. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
I think it's okay there they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Daryl Hodge has it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Foles. And Boyd has it over the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down first and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out of what you plan to do during the game, and it's still early. Don't get crazy because you gave one up. Just respond, as you just noted.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Now here's Hill. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Justice Hill, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive goes 8 plays. And the end result was the touchdown run by Justice Hill. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked fearless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They'll get this into the hands of Hodge. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Now, that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
On the draw, this is Fournette. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Tyler Irvin back deep. And the win last week, punted 4 times as this one's away. Taken in at the 11. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And we shift our attention to Mark Ingram. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season. And given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes. Steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too? Because they are a team now recognized for the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the penalty, it's Ingram. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On the draw, this is Ingram. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go.
Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down. These two teams all tied after one. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Throwing again on second down. Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, the defensive coverage was good. So good, he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Foles. And that's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Ingram. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
From the 44, Jackson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Jackson's got his tight end Hurst, and he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Jackson. This one complete to Ingram. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
Good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
Easy.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. They'll look to throw here.
I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of the play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held into an okay game.
A throw over the middle, taken in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Well, Foles and the Jags now have to deal with a 3rd and long after that sack. Looking to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Foles going to come up now 1st and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. They'll look to throw. And Braith, the tight end's got it. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from 48. The kick by Lambeau is good. So well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. Well, we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And here the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Josh Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
That's the 2nd sack of the game. The best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he's got Snead. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on 2nd down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Now it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Josh Allen make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They're on top here as they've got the football 1st and 10, trying to erase the memory of the loss last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. Looking left sideline, incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Jackson, eluding the pressure right. And that'll be incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner? Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. And now offensively it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now? Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Foles and the Jags come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 27, Foles. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. From the 45 on 2nd down, Foles. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
Now Foles. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
And sets up the 4th down. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. They find some open field here. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And the lead is down to a field goal. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They'll be looking to make amends for the events of a moment ago. A fumble return for 6 points.
You absolutely have to protect the football. That's got to be priority number one because margin for error is starting to slip away. Now it's down to a one-score game.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Jackson now steps away to his left, and he slides to avoid the hit. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, he's going deep for Brown, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he's got this down to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practice.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Well, enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And an alley to run. Oh, no, lost the football. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Oh, we got it. Good job, D. Good job.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
Fournette fighting through. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. Tim Williams in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them a lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Deferring to Armstead on the draw. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5 now. Foles toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Foles. And he's going to go down. sacked right around the 17. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Jackson to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 35.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock is going off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They go play action now. Jackson buying time to his left. 10 more there and another first down.
Get ready.
That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the first down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Though how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on first. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And they're able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. He's given him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Foles and the Jags down 27-20, 2:06 to play. They'll have 1 play, maybe 2 before the 2-minute warning as they've got a first down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the defense helping him out a little bit here late in the 4th.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And when you're the one doing the chasing, you'll take a little help from the other guys, won't you?
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charlie. Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. He'll look to throw.
That gets him the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kadero Hodge, and it's third down. The Jaguars on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. And they were hoping to get down there, get the score, and get this thing into overtime. How deflating.
Absolutely. I mean, let's face it, heartbreaking. They had an opportunity, had a chance, and probably were feeling pretty good about what was going on, and that was taken away from them by their own mistake.
Well, the opportunity squashed. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Hayden Hurst, former first-round pick, the intended target, but it's going to be second down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Throwing now is Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the story changes. Trailing in this one now. And time, a huge factor. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a first down. Here's Foles. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Tim Williams in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. After the sack on first down, Foles. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 16. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch, counter punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jackson from the shotgun. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. An ideal spot here to get a 1st down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more, a little insult to injury here late in the game. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And that will extend their lead even further. So he remains perfect. 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Let's go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.